If your delphinium bloomed brilliantly in June, then finished for the year like almost everyone else's, and you accepted that as normal, you were told the wrong story. Delphinium was not designed to bloom once a summer. It was designed to bloom twice, and in some seasons 3 times. The reason yours only bloomed once is not the plant. It is not the weather. It is not the soil. It is one specific decision gardeners make in early July that ends the plant's blooming season 3 months too early. The good news is that this July, right now, you have exactly one window to fix it. Make the right decision in that window, and your delphinium will produce a full second flush of tall, dramatic blue and purple spikes in August and September, when almost nothing else in your garden is blooming that boldly. In the next few minutes, you'll learn what almost every gardener does wrong in early July. You'll learn the exact technique that flips the switch and forces a second bloom. And near the end of this video, you'll learn one supporting detail that, if you skip it, ruins the entire second flush even if you cut correctly. Stay with me. Why most gardeners only ever get one flush. Let's start with why almost every delphinium in America blooms only once. When the first bloom finishes in late June or early July, the spike starts to fade from the top down. The bottom flowers are still showing color, but the top is turning brown. Most gardeners see this and do the natural thing. They deadhead, they cut off the brown flowers at the top of the spike. They leave the rest of the stalk standing. That looks tidy, it feels correct. It is exactly what almost every gardening guide teaches for other perennials. But delphinium is different. When you only remove the top brown flowers, the plant sees the remaining stalk and interprets it as unfinished. It continues to send energy up that same stalk for weeks, trying to produce a few final side blooms. Meanwhile, it never sends the signal to the crown to grow a new stalk. The season quietly ends. The plant did what you told it. You told it to keep the stalk, so it did. The trick is telling it something completely different, and that is where the July technique comes in. Why July is the only window that works. The window opens exactly when the top third of your delphinium flower spike starts to fade. In most US zones, that is early to mid-July. Miss the window and the technique becomes much less effective. Do it too early and you cut off good blooms you would have enjoyed. Do it too late after the entire stalk has browned and the plant has already shifted into seed production mode. Once that switch flips, delphinium cannot easily be pulled back into flowering mode. But hit the window correctly, and biology is on your side. Delphinium has an evolutionary rebloom system. In its native cool mountain habitats, wind storms and animal damage would knock down flower stalks mid-season. The plant evolved to respond to sudden stalk loss by pushing fresh growth from the crown, driven by root energy that was already stored for the next year. When you cut the stalk at the right moment, you trigger that same emergency response. The plant thinks a storm just hit. It reaches into its root reserves, and it produces a completely fresh second flush of stalks and blooms. But you have to cut correctly. That is the entire secret. The complete technique, the retention peak. Here is exactly how to do it. Step 1. Find the moment. Walk to your delphinium. Look at the top of the flower spike. If the top third of the flowers have faded, browned, or dropped their petals, the window is open. If the whole spike is still colorful, wait a few more days. Step 2. Take a sharp pair of hand pruners, not scissors, not shears, sharp, clean hand pruners. Step 3. Follow the flower stalk all the way down to the ground, not partway, not to the middle, all the way down until you see the cluster of low green leaves at the base of the plant. Those low leaves are called the basal leaves. They are the crown of the plant. Step 4. Cut the stalk about 2 to 3 inches above the basal leaves. Clean, angled cut. Do not cut into the leaves themselves. Do not cut below them. Step 5. Repeat for every flower stalk on the plant. If you have 3 spikes, cut all 3. If you have 1, cut 1. Do not save any of them for later. Step 6. Clear the cut stalks off the plant. Do not leave them lying on top of the crown or on the leaves. They can invite mold. That is the entire cutting technique. What you are left with is a low mound of basal leaves about 6 to 12 inches tall with no flower stalks at all. It looks like you just destroyed the plant. You did not, you just set it up for the second show. Within 7 to 10 days, if everything else is right, you will see tiny new flower stalks pushing up from the center of the crown. Within 4 to 6 weeks, they will be in full bloom. The 6-week timeline, what to expect week by week. Here is what to expect week by week so you know it is working. Week 1, nothing visible. The plant is processing the sudden loss of its flower stalks and rerouting energy to the crown. Do not panic, do not add anything. Week 2, small green nubs begin to appear at the center of the basal leaves. Some might be red tinged. These are your new flower stalks starting. Week 3, the nubs stretch upward, 2 to 4 inches of new growth. The plant is committing. Week 4, flower stalks now clearly visible, 6 to 12 inches tall, leafy, upright, unmistakably new stalks. Week 5, buds form at the tops of the new stalks, small at first, then swelling. Week 6, first flowers begin to open at the base of the new spikes. By the end of week 6 or into week 7, you have a full second flush of blooms, sometimes not as tall as the first flush but often more numerous. The 3 supporting requirements. Now, the technique alone is not enough. 3 supporting steps determine whether your second flush is spectacular or a disappointment. Requirement 1. Water deeply once immediately after cutting. Take a hose, set it to a slow trickle and let it run at the base for 15 minutes. You want to soak the root zone with about 5 gallons of water. This deep drink signals the roots that resources are available for regrowth. Skip this and even a perfect cutback will produce a weak, stunted second flush. Requirement 2. Feed the plant one time within 48 hours of cutting. Use a balanced fertilizer or one slightly higher in phosphorus, which is the middle number on the label. About a quarter cup sprinkled in a ring around the plant 6 inches out from the base. Scratch it into the top of the soil. Do not use pure nitrogen. Nitrogen gives you leaves and no flowers. Skip this feeding and the second flush will still happen, but it will be sparse. Requirement 3. Stake early. As soon as those new stalks reach 12 inches, put in 3 thin bamboo stakes around the plant and gently loop soft twine around them. Second flush stalks are more fragile than first flush stalks. One August thunderstorm can knock them flat. Prevention takes 10 minutes and saves the whole show. Do all 3 and your second flush will match your first. Skip any one and the second flush will still come, but it will not be what it could have been. The bonus nobody tells you: life extension. Now here is a bonus most gardeners will never hear. Delphinium is famously short-lived. In most gardens, the plant lasts 3 to 4 years, then declines and dies. Gardeners accept it as a fact of Delphinium ownership. It is not. That short lifespan is directly tied to letting the plant go to seed. When Delphinium is allowed to complete its bloom cycle, form seed heads, and finish naturally, it invests its final energy of the season into seed production. That investment comes out of the plant's root reserves. Every year of full seed production drains those reserves further. After 3 or 4 cycles, the reserves are empty. The plant dies. The cutback technique in this video changes that math. When you cut before the plant goes to seed, you prevent that final energy investment. The plant keeps its reserves. The crown stays vigorous. And your Delphinium can live for 8, 10, sometimes 12 years instead of 3 or 4. You are not just getting a second bloom, you are giving the plant a longer life. 1 July decision: 2 flushes this year, 2 extra years of the plant in your garden. So there it is. Watch for the top third of your Delphinium spike to fade. That is the window. Cut every stalk down to 2 or 3 inches above the basal leaves. Water deeply within the hour. Feed lightly within 2 days. Stake early when the new growth reaches a foot. Do this correctly, and by late August, your Delphinium is blooming again in blue and purple spikes that everyone else in your neighborhood already gave up on. The plant was ready to bloom twice all along. You just had to know when to tell it. We'll see you in the next one.